Peace and love, divine beings. Welcome to the Soul Speaks podcast. On this podcast, we are letting the soul speak its mind. No more holding back, no more heavy heart. We are healing divinely over here. My yacht wouldn't like that heavy heart, y'all. This podcast is a safe space that may get a little messy. Sometimes the truth is a mess. As above, so below. I am so excited to be back. I'm so excited to be back. If you are new, welcome. I have a little prince in the back, so if you hear some ruckus, that's little man, okay? But if you are not new, hey y'all, I miss y'all so much. Man, oh man. I have been wanting to come back on here and really talk some stuff. Like, when I get organized, and I already had some things I wanted to talk about. I had written down. But when God tells you to do something, you do it. So when he says sit down, sit down. When he says speak up, speak up. And I had a lot of work and goals that I accomplished and finished in June and July, and I was told to take a rest. And also I was under the weather. Like, it was a whole lot of things that was going on in the beginning of August, going into Leo season. There was a lot going on, and because I did so much work and said so much truth and just spoke some things that needed to be spoken, in my opinion, in my life, and from my perspective. I missed coming on here because it is now Virgo season. Whoop whoop. We are a little bit more grounded, and we are not taking no shit. Let's just start there. So I pulled a oracle card for myself today, and it said, New Moon in Virgo, a time to give rather than take. If you know the Moonology deck, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. Now, I've been feeling this for a long time because I'm like, okay, now I've been kind of quiet. Like, real quiet. Like, I know you told me to rest, but there was some things that I wanted to get out during Gemini season and Cancer season that I didn't get a chance to get out because I was overworking myself and just making sure that I got a lot of things out, and that I was, being obedient to God. Now, with that time in Leo season of resting, and honestly not by choice, there was a lot of things that I was like, okay, things that you did write down, you were probably going to go into detail, and you probably weren't going to say too much, or you were going to say too little, or I don't know. All I know is that now I have been hearing from God and having multiple confirmations about this topic right here. False prophets. Come on, let's get into it. False prophets. The church, the internet churches, these spiritual motivators, or these preachers online. Okay, let's talk about it. I'm going to talk about my experience dealing with the false prophet, aka being in a religious, in quotes, cult. Now, I want to say religious in quotes because in this particular setting, it was pretty much internet, but it was also, we read the Bible and we listened to this one guy preach about what God, quote unquote, told him. Okay. But he wanted to be more spiritual. It wasn't really like, oh, we have to be, wear church hats and we can't, smoke and we can't drink. It was still us being ourselves, but quote unquote, spiritual church. We have a spiritual community. We have a spiritual community or tribe or family, as he put it, that we can lean on. Okay. So first thing I want to do is go straight to the scriptures, because I think it's really gonna help with context. Okay. So I'm gonna start with 2 Peter 2:1. But false prophets also arose among the people, just as there will be false teachers among you, who will secretly bring in destructive heresies, even denying the master who bought them, bringing upon themselves swift destruction. 2 and 2. And many will follow their sensuality, and because of them, the way of truth will be blasphemed. And in their greed, they will exploit you with false words. Their condemnation from long ago is not idle, and their destruction is not asleep. Then I want to go to Matthew 24:11. And many false prophets will arise and lead many astray. Matthew 24:24. For false Christs and false prophets will arise and perform great signs and wonders, so as to lead astray, if possible, even the elect. And most importantly, Matthew 7:15. Beware of false prophets who come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly are ravenous wolves. So because we are in Virgo season, it's very grounded. Honestly, I take that back. I was gonna say that some of the Virgos I come across are honest, but I take that back. I feel like this is a time where we're supposed to be more honest, and we are supposed to tell it like it is. And like I told you, I got this oracle card that said it's a time to give rather than take. So what have people really been giving us? Please think about that. Like these podcasts that are like men bashing or women bashing, or these influencers who aren't talking about anything. What are we really getting from them? Are we learning from them? And if we are learning from them, is it good things? Is it bad things? Are these things divine? Is it idiotic? Is it preposterous? Is it of low vibration? What are we really learning from people? So, to paint the scene, this is 2020. 2020, I want to say Cancer season 2020. So we didn't really get hit with, I was going to say the VAX, but I want to keep it cool because I don't want to get in trouble for saying certain words. But I was introduced to this guy who calls himself a preacher and a spiritual motivator, and that's literally his name. So if you want to type in preacher, the spiritual motivator, you can do that. It's gonna come right up, okay? Which, one, he's not a preacher, and two, he's not a motivational speaker, but let's get into it, okay? So he started his base off, from what I knew, he just got out of jail and he pretty much was studying, quote unquote, studying the Bible while he was in jail. First of all, red flag. Not saying that people can't come out of jail and do better, but not this person. So what I realized was that he spoke a good game. He has a really good gift of the gab. He is a Sagittarius. So if we want to say a lower vibrational Sagittarius, then that paints the picture for you. So from June 2020, I'm catching up on old videos. Then I start catching him live. And it's a different feeling now being in 2022 and now knowing how to manage my energy. I know that you can't be on everybody's live. I know that you can't be on live for a certain amount of time with certain people. If your body starts to feel away, you need to pay attention to that because your body is letting you know something. Also, commenting too much on a live or adding personal information gives them more ammo to fuck with you. So at first everything was cool, everything was dandy. I was just watching his videos. Then I found myself more intrigued, wanting to watch more and more and more. I want to watch the videos that I missed before I even watched him. So now I'm going further in the past watching his videos. Now I'm making sure I'm on time for his lives. I'm making sure. Now let's keep in mind, he kept himself very put together. So there was a lot of women who were in his comments thinking he was a godly man, but he's using appeal, sex appeal. There were men there too, but eventually the men would outrightly and boldly say, why is it only women in these comments? Why do you only have female friends on Facebook? Because this is where we are on Facebook, okay? So a lot of the men started to leave because we were all under the impression that, you know, he's someone just like us, kind of hood, kind of not hood. He has some street cred. He has some book smarts, a little bit, okay? Just a little. I don't really know. We don't really know this man, right? Because it's an internet persona. So once they start, like, I feel like they're, you know, some people say that when you dive deep into quote unquote Christianity and like into the church the way that they want you to, bad things start happening, right? So of course, bad things are happening. Now, before I get there, I want to say that a little backstory on me. I took and still do take spirituality very serious. I was kind of raised religious, but not really. I didn't go to church every Sunday, but I took church seriously. When I went to church, you know, I didn't act up. I was very polite, very quiet, keen. A girl, cross your legs, da-da-da-da. Okay? If it's a Sunday, we shouldn't be cursing on Sunday. We should only be playing gospel music. That was just me growing up as a child. Even though my parents and grandmothers and all that, they did not really do all that. They would send us to church and try to act like, oh, Jesus this, and read the Bible that. And I read the Bible this, and that. But you're still evil. Okay, So that's just my mindset. So people of power, when it comes to religion, I respect them, but that's how you get bamboozled, when you don't think of them as normal individual people, or when you look past them and see them as a god or someone that can save you. No one can save you but yourself. So when he started saying things like, yeah, when I pop up in your dreams, you know, that's what's up, you know, God telling you that we here, we together, or, oh, just listen to me and you'll be straight with God, and things like that. When you start saying things like that, it's a lot of ego. It's a lot of red flags that you should be paying attention to. Then he will shout, you know, oh, donate if you can, but don't donate. But shouting out donations and, oh, I'm going to build a church in 2027. Like, do you know how fucking far that is? You know, you're selling people a dream, right? Like, anyway. So, things in my personal life started to get hectic. I started reaching out to him for a little advice. Now, that's a red flag in itself, because these are people who are playing with people's energy. So yeah, they want you to have bad things going on so you can keep running to them so that they can keep telling you bullshit so that you still have bad things coming, right? Okay. I talked to him about my relationship. That was number one red flag. I'm a whole married. He's a whole not. So you're not going to understand. And I'm not saying that single people can't give advice to married people. But this is someone who took his gift from God and just trashed it. Okay? Now, he quote unquote helped me, right, in the DMs when I asked for advice. But then it was like, oh, now he's shouting out certain people's names. Like, oh, hey, so-and-so. Hey, this person. Hey, that person. Oh, these are my top 5 right here. These are my top 10 right here. This is my family right here. So then you get to see who's a part of the committee, who's really being controlled when he starts naming people individually. Of course, now my name is getting called out because we're getting closer. I have his phone number. We're trying to build this committee. We're trying to build this church up. I take this very seriously, especially because we're not normal. We're people who've had certain things, certain traumas in our lives, and we're trying to heal. And we're all thinking with the goodness of our hearts that that's what he's trying to do. Fast forward to about Libra season of 2020. He wants to have a get-together with some of the main people, that he calls out. So some of us couldn't make it for location reasons and, just different things. So me, my husband, and my child were going to go. And I got a text saying it's not that type of party by a girl whose house it was being hosted at. Immediately, my husband was like, oh, so what, they doing some freaky shit? Okay. So I'm like, well, no, hopefully not. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be alcohol, but it's not. It's just we weren't doing Bible study. It's really just us meeting the quote unquote family for the first time and getting to know each other, etc. Now, we all, for the quote-unquote familia, we had a group chat. So it was about maybe 20 of us, maybe 15. So we're in the group chats. I want to say about 10 of them went. So the other 5 are in the group chat hey, have fun. Make sure y'all take pictures, but we're salty. So the 10 of them, they had their little secret. Come to find out, they have another group chat. Because they had their fun at the party, and that was supposed to be secret and not supposed to get out to the rest of the group, even though we're supposed to be familiar. Come to find out that it was some freaky shit that went on. Almost some threesomes that went on. People, yes, there's weed and drinking, but there's pills involved. Some people don't even want to associate with him anymore. So we're like, what's the beef? What's going on? He decides he wants to throw another party, like a Friendsgiving. So here we go. We're getting into Thanksgiving time. So he wants to throw a Friendsgiving. Now, the 3 main women, we're going to call them Mary, Joe, and Jane. They start messaging everyone in private saying, hey, we're going to throw him a surprise party because his birthday is the day of Thanksgiving. So we're going to throw him a surprise party on top of the, Friendsgiving that we're doing. So some people can make it to the Friendsgiving. Some people will make it to his surprise birthday party, which is the next day. Okay. I wasn't going to go to all them events, but the sense of control, the sense of, oh, so who's going to do what? So you're going to make Jell-O shots? Are you going to cook? Are you going to do this? Are you going to do that? They're calling me up are you going to come? I'm like, well, I don't know because my husband feels a certain way. Oh, is he beating you? Oh, this, that? So they're trying to gaslight me. They're trying to manipulate me into coming. Why? He's getting the females, to make sure that people are coming. Not for the birthday party because he doesn't know about that, but the Friendsgiving, right? He comes calling me should I speak to your husband? Should I speak to him and let him know that everything's going to be cool and XYZ? And I'm like, no, that's okay. It was really hostile. I'm like, no, that's okay. I get there, the one girl decides she's going to pick me up. She picks me up early. Now I'm cooking because I didn't really have money to put in on anything. And I just felt really out of place. It was very I just really felt out of place. And I felt like I was undeserving to be there because they had money. They were cooking. They were, they had weed and all these things. And I didn't want to smoke up people's weed and drink up people's drink and eat and all that because I didn't really contribute. So they were like, no, it's okay, whatever. we're good. We're family, da, da, da. He gets there, and it's a dark energy around him. Yeah, he might smell good, but energy is dark. Eyeballs are dark. Like they say, you see it in the eyeballs? Yeah. And please go look him up. I'm pretty sure he has TikToks and Instagrams. So you can tell how dark he looks. But anyway, the gift of the gab, and the way he dresses, distracts a lot of quote unquote God-fearing women. Okay? And that's how we all get tricked, okay? Oh, he looks up to par, and then he speaks up to par. Okay, but what is this stuff he's doing with his hands in the camera? What is this that he's doing, like praying over people? Oh, why are we always on time for his lives? Or why, when he doesn't get on live, we're all having a bad day? Oh, we need him to get on live. Now people are adding his name, blowing him up, messaging him for him to give us a message. Red flag, okay? And then he just wouldn't even say nothing. He wouldn't even say like, oh, I'm not recording today. We'll just be left in awe, like, so he's not coming on today? What's going on? Is he okay? Is he panicking over this man who y'all are donating to, and he's spending money? Okay, so anyway, this party that I'm at, he's watching us drink, he's watching us smoke, he's just staring at us. He had his own smoke. So I found that interesting too, but people have their own smoke, but he just was like, nah, like he's watching everyone, okay? Then, like I said, he has a gift from God, but he trashed it. So we're doing a paint and sip, and he wants to, intuitively break down everybody's painting. So he breaks down mine, and I feel like it was accurate. I'm crying and stuff. He trying to talk to me about my own fucking insecurities. And I'm like, okay, you going too far. It's like 12 people here at this party. Like, like you could talk about everybody else's, but like you going ham on me. Like, for what? And then he tries to talk about my relationship and how I'm not happy. And I'm like, you don't know all that. You don't know all that. We just don't know you. You know what I mean? So it was definitely a lot of red flags. Come to find out, they popped pills as soon as I left because I had to leave early. I had a 1-year-old at the time. So I leave early, which he calls a scene about that. Like, oh, bring your husband in here so we can talk. The way that this preacher / spiritual motivator was sending energy towards my husband, and my husband is a Gemini, so he was not going. Like, he was just like, are we done here? Are we done here? Are we done? Okay. This preacher man, in quotes, said, you don't want your wife hanging around a celebrity? You don't want her name getting shouted out in videos? Like, you don't want her to be like in the posse with a celebrity? He was like, no. No, I don't. But that was the first time I actually heard him call himself a celebrity like that. And he didn't even have like that many followers. Like, he had followers, okay? But you're like calling yourself a celebrity at this point. Wow. Keep in mind, it's like 9 girls here. The one guy that was there, he was asleep. He didn't got drunk too fast. He just turned 21, got drunk super fast, and passed out. So it's just a whole bunch of girls here. And then when my husband decides to pick me up, he sees that. One dude is passed out, and he see a whole bunch of girls around the table with this one dude. How'd that look? Crazy. Like, nuts, okay? So, boom. Fast forward, they're throwing the birthday party for him. They're calling me like, oh, you can't come. I'm like, no, like, you seen what happened yesterday. I'm not coming to his birthday party the day after. Like, that's crazy. So he's messaging me like, oh, well, did your husband listen? And blah, blah, blah to the conversation. I was just like, look, I hope you're not mad at me. Being the empath that I am, because I can feel energies. I'm like, I hope you're not mad at me about what went down with you and my husband. Or I hope you're not mad at me for not saying. I don't know. I just don't want to feel any old ways. He's like, no, you good, whatever. Now, I found out that there was a lot of sexual activity going on. He was fetishing a BBW girl. They was popping pills. Now, do what you do. But once again, you're wearing a mask. You can't say that you're this God-fearing man. Like, yes, you can still do you, but you're having threesomes, you're popping pills, they're spending bank on you. Like, one of the girls was talking like, oh man, I done spent $300 on his coat and some pants and da-da-da. We don't know this man. And y'all spending money. Y'all tried to get him a Hennessy cake. Them people who make custom cakes and then put Hennessy bottles on it, and that didn't go through. So of course it was drama with that, and it wasn't. Listen, false prophet. This man was dicking down pretty much everybody. If he could dick them down, he tried to. If he could fantasize about you, he would. If he could pop up in your dreams and try to do some sexual shit and try to rape you, he would. I am a witness. I also had an ex-best friend who we came out of that cult together. She had dreams about him. Okay? And once we broke out of that, he's texting us like, oh, you know I can hear, right? You know I can hear y'all conversations, right? Oh, you know. Oh, I got a message for you. Why don't you check it out? Because I know you haven't been checking out my videos. Shit like that. The man is a creep. And then pop up with a baby. Out of nowhere. That means somebody you was dicking down while you was dicking down people at that party that you was probably trying to meet and try to do to me. And every other girl that was there. You done got somebody pregnant in that same time. Not saying you can't be raw and have your fun and all that, but remember, you have a certain status, right? You're a celebrity, right? So this is not a girl that we knew that you got pregnant. We didn't even know that you had a baby on the way until the baby was here, because you probably had to say, oh, I need a lie detector test. I need a paternity test to make sure that you ain't lying, because I'm a celebrity. Get out of here. Going to trips to Miami. Not showing us the girl he took to Miami. Like, listen. We can say do your thing. God is blessing you when you go on to trips to Miami. Don't get me wrong, but this is the money that you use to go to Miami is the same money that people are struggling to donate to you. Like, do you get it? Do you get it? You had a nice, lovely time while you recording those videos in 2020. Because I stopped listening to him January 2021. Actually, it was before that. It was December 2020. No, 2021. I stopped listening to him then. So before that, you've been balling out. I mean, you was recording your videos in hotel rooms, different hotel rooms every other week. And best believe the atmosphere of those hotel rooms changed now, didn't they? You got a nice bathroom. Oh, you got a full nice size shower up in here. Oh, you got a little ring light in your bathroom. Like, you in a nice hotel. And for one of the girls that I was friends with, where you literally stayed at her house, she didn't even want to have sex with you, but for some reason she ended up having sex with you. That doesn't seem right to me. And of course, I had to cut her off because she didn't believe in witchcraft. She did not believe in spell work. But you believe in the devil. It's pretty much it when it's done for dark, it's the same thing. Witchcraft is not necessarily evil. It's not necessarily good either. It's all about the intention. But when she said she didn't believe in spell work, but all he do is wave his hands a certain way in the camera, and he has a way of giving gab and all of this and this. No. And his sceneries with his videos, he would make sure that he's out in a forest, or he would make sure he was in front of some water to make sure that his negative, dark ass energy was being cleansed. He knew what the fuck he was doing. Which is why everybody kept coming back every single day. If he went live multiple times, we on the live multiple times a day. No. He wanted to do something where he wanted to wash his face and brush his teeth with everybody. Best believe and we worked out in the morning. So we would work out, do a couple push-ups, wash our face and brush our teeth every morning. Best believe I did that because I was under the illusion. But I was going through a really difficult time. So I want to say that helped me because I was going through a time where I was not even trying to wash my face or brush my teeth. Very depressed. So that did help me. But to know that you are draining our energy one day at a time, 1 minute at a time, 1 second at a time. I would post Bible scriptures on my own page and he would go and make a video about it and be like, oh, I wonder if the person who posted this scripture would know that I got it from them. And I was like, oh, this is my favorite scripture. He said, yeah, I got it from your page. What? Now, of course, I'm not like, oh, he copied me. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. You know what I'm saying? But now I'm like, oh, shit. 2 years later, I'm like, oh, shit. Like, you copying me. You're getting the things that I was getting from God. You wanted to say that God gave it to you. Ain't that a drip? Now you talking about some, oh, why? Well, you asking me my opinion about if you wrong for shaking some girl up. I wasn't there for you to shake some girl up. Why are you asking me my opinion? To brainwash me, right? No. I learned a lot over the last year because I stopped watching him before January 21. So I got a lot of insight from then until now. And as he's been blocked from my Facebook, I don't even have Facebook anymore. Number been blocked. He tried to pop up on my TikTok, child. I said, no. You and your demonic energy is out of here. And everybody in that cult. When I left that cult and I unfriended them, the first ladies, Mary, Jane, and Joe, whatever her name was, because you know I'm making it up, those girls' names. They hit me up quick. Why did you unfriend me? I said, first of all, me and you were never cool. We just had this preacher motivator as a mutual friend. Me and you were never cool. Me and you never had intimate talks. Me and you never. So what you're doing is getting information about something so you can go to him and tell him. The answer is no. We never been cool. Now you got your minions, your first ladies, the whole committee coming after me, sending me attacks. And this is my first time saying anything about me being in a cult whatsoever. Y'all been attacking me for a whole year. How's that working out for y'all? How's the PPP loan scamming working out for y'all? How's that spell work with the Cash App working out for y'all? I remember that was the last scam I seen. I didn't even realize it was a scam, but he said, y'all comment y'all Cash Apps and I'm going to send y'all, I'm going to pick some people to send y'all. Boy, I said, wow, that sounds like a scam. When you said you was going to build a fucking church by 2025 or 2027, that's a fucking scam. You're talking about 2020? You said this? And we're sending money to you now so that there could be a building built by 27. You out your mind. You're out your mind. I want to say this. Y'all be careful. If they don't tell you to go within, listen to God, listen to your intuition, listen to yourself. If they don't tell you to journal, if they don't tell you to monitor your thoughts, see what you're thinking, if they don't tell you to cleanse your energy, if they don't tell you stop watching all my videos and try to sit outside and see what comes. If they don't tell you that, if they say, oh, listen to me and you'll be straight. If they say, listen, if I'm in your dreams, then you good, me and God, we here and you here and we here together. If they saying all that bullshit, false prophet, cult leader. The man was in my dreams groping on me. And something that was very sturdy that I was standing or had my hands on fell underneath me. And that's how I knew. And that's when I woke up. Because I said, no, you're not finna fuck up anything stable I have going on. Just imagine that. Imagine the 4 wands. That's stable. That's a foundation. And imagine that foundation breaking down because some nigga playing mind games. Spiritual mind games. Conjuring up shit. Doing witchcraft, and we don't even know what he's doing. He talking about some, oh, this isn't oil on my hands. This is sweat. This is the oil from the Holy Ghost. And if you don't get what you put on your fucking hands, some fucking money come to me oil, and then you waving it all across the computer, and then now we sending you money? No. Absolutely not. You call me a liar for saying something you actually said. I don't know if I can trust the leader like that. And technically I was a year old. I'm older than him. So it's just like, you can't lead me. I'm an Aries. You can't lead me. I'm the leader. We all are leaders. And these people who think they are leaders now because they came up in the last 2 to 3 years when it was an aesthetic are going to have a really hard lesson. Because the real prophets, prophetesses, empresses, high priestess, leaders, presidents, preachers, real motivators, real guidance counselors, real therapists are going to rise to the top as soon as y'all get crumbled down. Okay? Be mindful of these leaders out here y'all think y'all watching. Some of these people got lives you wouldn't even expect. This nigga had a gun on him everywhere he went. And yes, people need that. And I also live in a rough city, so I get it. But you also walking around with it. You tell me, oh, I'm protected, but you're walking around with it. You telling me you getting pulled over, hopefully the police don't find it, and they didn't find it, and you like, oh God, thank you. You can't use God for what you want to use him for. God uses you for what he wants to use you for. So when I heard he got sick and it was real bad and all these people was like, oh, I hope my preacher do good, I'm like, karma. Because if you sleeping with all these people, if you out here doing all this stuff, what do you expect? You lying on God's name half the time. God didn't tell you to do that. I say all this to say that when I wanted to say this during Cancer season and Gemini season, it probably wasn't going to come out as truthful. It was, but just not as intense. It wasn't going to seem real. This is all about authenticity. That's what people really care about. Not some fake ass mask, persona, alter ego shit y'all got going on. Because behind closed doors, you are not a preacher nor a motivator. You did not go to school to preach. And you definitely didn't go to school to fucking motivate nobody spiritually. Not saying you can't. Not saying that your past defines everything in your future. It does not. But I gave him the benefit of the doubt, being a jailbird. But then when I tried to do some research about what he went to jail for, there's certain things removed. You sound like an agent to me. You don't sound alike to me. You ain't even been completely honest about what you did. So how can I even trust you about what God said? No. You didn't even have your own place to stay in. You're hopping from hotel to hotel. And if not, you're using your female followers / Facebook friends to dip in them real quick for a few nights and leave your stuff there. You know, your canopy, your ring light, your tripod. They cooking, they cleaning for you. And then if it's a problem, you just have the next one come pick you up. Oh, I know. I was on the phone with some of them. It's sad. It's really sad that we really get bamboozled because we really want to get a divine, true knowledge about God and what we should be doing and how we should be handling the energies out here. Be mindful of these tarot readers. They're stealing things from you inside of your house. If things are going missing, they're probably stealing it from you. Be mindful of these natal chart readers and all that. Start going within. Start trying to learn it yourself. And if that's not of your mental expertise, make sure you strengthen your intuition. And then follow your intuition about who to trust when it comes to paying for certain services like that. Because let me tell you, Preacher, the spiritual motivator, that's his name, is not that. And I'm not sure if the fans and quote unquote friends and the familia he had in 2020 when he started are still around. I don't need to look. I get dark energy when that nigga popped up on my For You page. And got blocked super quick. And after getting blocked, he popped up a day after. Not a different page. Same page. Get your evil ass energy out of here. And I protect myself from all evil eye and malicious intent that you false ass prophets send to any of the divine ones, any of the chosen ones, any of the black sheep. It's getting sent to you right back 100 times harder. The pressure is getting worse. And it's really gonna get worse for y'all because when we actually start speaking our mind about this shit and exposing all of these motivators, female coaches, men coaches, these toxic ass podcasts, these influencers who ain't teaching us how to do shit but shake our ass and scam. That is not what we're doing. In Virgo season until forever, that is not what we're doing. God told me multiple times, you're not speaking up. You done healed from your traumas. You better speak on it now. And I said, when I get back to my podcast, this is going to be the first one I do. Because these niggas is trash. These niggas as in these con men, as in these false prophets, as in these false Christs, as in Spez, the spiritual motivator. Nigga, you ain't nothing spiritual. You ain't nothing motivating. You probably you did little things, okay? You gave me 1 + 1 = 2 for me to heal and do certain things. I appreciate it. But what you're not going to do is get the rest of the collective. What you're not going to do is bamboozle everybody out of their money. Scam people out of their souls, their hearts. Anytime he said something, I would be like, oh, my chest. Like, my chest would actually hurt. Like, I would feel like like somebody was stabbing me in my chest. My heart chakra was being attacked. All while listening to him for almost half a year. My heart chakra was getting attacked. I'd be like, oh, my chest. Speak that shit. Oh, my chest. Oh, he's speaking some real shit. No, he ain't, baby. No. When I tell you my chest ain't hurt since I left him in 21, and not left him, but left that coat in 21, my chest don't hurt like that no more. I actually was able to dive deep into what the fuck that even mean. My heart chakra was being attacked. My head, my third eye, my crown was being attacked. My throat chakra was closed off because you can't really speak too much about what be going on in our little familia. The drama and the beef and all that. Because when somebody left that group, he was quick to be like, oh, they wasn't real. They was fake. I'm like, that's how you treat people that you don't get along with? Or that you have a miscommunication with? This is not a pastor. And I never should have thought of him that way. This is not a preacher. I never should have thought of him that way. But you also, Spez, if you listening, should not be calling yourself that. Okay? Because you're not a preacher. You didn't go to school. And if you went to school between 2021 and now, congratulations. You're still a fraud. Be mindful, y'all. God told me I had to speak my truth and just let it out. So however this comes out, if this is your first time hearing this and it's crazy and you like, whoa, listen, like I said in the beginning, the truth gets a little messy sometimes. Let's just be real. We can't always sugarcoat the truth. And this is not something that we should sugarcoat, because there's a lot of people, if you look at TikTok right now, there's a lot of people who are going mentally insane, who are mentally unstable, because they dove themselves into a group or a cult or a familia that's supposed to be spiritual, or they got caught up in religion, or their spiritual journey / awakening / whatever is tearing them apart. And people like my son said in the background, I'm hungry. They're hungry for people to be unstable and lost and mentally confused. That's how they keep their bills paid. Be mindful, y'all. Watch over yourselves. Protect y'all aura. Protect y'all energy. Protect y'all energy, y'all. Be mindful. If you're getting, like, if it's your For You page or for your Explore page and you're getting the same things, that's God talking to you. It's confirmation, okay? You don't really have to be involved heavily with all these other people. I didn't cut off social media, never thinking that I would cut off social media. It's possible. You don't have to listen to nobody else. You can listen to yourself. Teach yourself. Motivate yourself. Get a little bit of motivation from others, but mainly it's 90% you. So, peace and love, y'all. Stay safe, divine beings. Stay vigilant and stay discerning.